Hello, today we're going to be talking about ground support equipment for hybrid rocket motors. Ground support equipment is often shortened to GSE, and what we're covering is things that are special to hybrid rocket motors. We're not going to cover launch rails or anything like that. So this setup is for UC valve type hybrid rocket motors like Ratworks and Contrail and Sky Ripper, that type of rocket motor, not the Hypertex. For Hypertex, you're going to need a couple more items. So, first of all, what we have here is a 12-volt car jump starter battery, and this is my pad module. So the power is right next to the pad, so that you can get the most power to your igniter as possible. You don't lose it over the long distance from the LCO table. So use a system of relays in the pad module to make that work. So let's see here. Here's my pad module. I have these are the outlets that you plug in the nitrous oxide solenoid manifold, and here's where you plug in your igniter. I have a safety switch. When you're loading up your rocket, you leave it on safe. Once you have your rocket motor loaded, you turn the system on and it gives you a little continuity light. Also have a 30 amp fuse which protects the relays that are in the pad module. You don't want your relays to burn up. Okay, so next we have the system is connected to the LCO control module with regular network cable like Cat5, Cat5e, that type of thing, and RJ45 plugs. It's relatively inexpensive and it can go very long distances. I have 1,000 feet of cable, so I can go as far as I want. Next we have a vent sensor. This vent sensor was made by John Duramigio, and it's out of production, unfortunately. So I'm working on coming out with one that we can sell to people that need vent sensors. Okay, so let's talk about the control module. Control module, what you have here is first of all an arming switch. So right now the system's off, nothing's going on, and when you're ready to load and launch, you need to turn it on. It gives you a warning tone, which is annoying, as my son says, but the warning tone keeps people from accidentally turning it on while you're out at the pad. And the tone won't keep going when you're filling the nitrous. So next we have momentary switches, push button switches, and that's what I like. I don't want a toggle switch for filling or launching. You want it to be off when you're not using it. So this is your fill switch. Once you have it full, the vent sensor will light and there's a tone that will go off, and then you hit your launch button. This here, in case of a misfire, you can dump the system. You never want to approach your rocket with a full nitrous tank, because you got over 750, maybe 1,000 psi of pressure in it, and it could burst. So I want to demonstrate this vent sensor. It's pretty cool. So later on I'll show you how it senses the nitrous, but once the nitrous starts coming out as a liquid, this is what it's going to do. It's going to start flashing, and I've added this tone to my control module. You will know that you're full of nitrous and you're ready to launch. So one of the pitfalls that hybrid rocket motors have is that people don't fill their rockets, the motor all the way. Next over here we have our nitrous solenoid manifold. What you're going to want is a pressure gauge. You need to know, and this is a 1,000 psi pressure gauge. You need to know how much pressure is in your nitrous tank before you go and fill it and launch it. So on the side I've marked that I want it to be between 550 and 900 psi. Really you want it kind of in the middle of that range, maybe even the lower end. But if it's over 900 psi, you cannot fill it or launch it, because nitrous becomes critical at like 900 psi. So that's controlled by temperature. If you need to lower the pressure, you simply cool your tank. I use wet towels to cool my tank, and it works pretty good. So this is a nylon fill hose, and you simply plug it into your nitrous solenoid manifold. This is a really nice high pressure solenoid that I got from Aircon. You need something that flows a lot and that can open up under a lot of pressure. So, and then this is my dump solenoid. So the other thing you need to keep in mind is that when you put things together for nitrous oxide, you need to use oxygen safe Teflon or pipe dope, that sort of thing. You never want to use any oils or anything that's not made for oxygen. So here's a couple of adapters I use for different rocket motors, different configurations. Here's an adapter for a Sky Ripper. This is my, so you can see, you just plug in that to the pad module, and then this is my igniter lead, plugs into the pad module, and then these are my vent sensors. They plug into the pad module. This one I just made is for contrails, so it's got the restrictor glued right onto it, and this is a thermistor. The thermistor senses when it gets cold, and then this one's for other ones where the tube comes out the side of the rocket. Okay, so that's my ground support equipment. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, and I'm going to be publishing a schematic so you guys can make your own. All the parts for my GSE I got from the hardware store, from Radio Shack. All this stuff, easy to come by. The LEDs I did have to get online. You want super bright LEDs if you're going to use LEDs in your system, because it's bright out there when you're launching rockets. These parts you can get from McMaster-Carr, and this solenoid I got from Aircon. This dump solenoid I got from eBay, but you can get everything from Aircon and from McMaster-Carr. All right, thank you for listening to my video. Have a great day.